that thing back where you found it before someone gets hurt.
Hi, I have come to save the day.
You want to be the war machine? Take your shot.
Throwing termite grenade.
Promises that they had made us in the past. We're going to go over exactly why that is an issue, what it means for the future, especially when it comes to collection events, and we're going to go ahead and give out the Lifeline Prestige skin. All you guys got to do is like, comment, subscribe, and you're entered for a chance to win. But without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. So today's going to be an interesting topic because EA and Apex Legends and Respawn seem to be going down a route that, well, doesn't seem so great for the future of the game. Now, of course, the new collection event we're playing right now, Devil's Take, is pretty fantastic. It is a collection event in the vein of the old ones. You can go ahead and craft the direct skin that you want. You can unlock it. There's a lot of great skins. The LTM of quads is refreshing. We get to try a bunch of new stuff. However, the next collection event coming up, well, it's actually not a collection event. It's a milestone event. And what's important to know about this is, well, it's going to relate to the Jadeite Peacekeeper. And you might be like, what the hell is that if you're somewhat new to the game? Now, last year for the Celestial Lunar New Year event, we got a brand new Peacekeeper recolor. It was the first time we ever saw a recolor for a reactive Battle Pass skin. It was this one right here, and unfortunately, it received a ton of backlash, like a ton of it. As you can see, there were numerous articles about Respawn unveiling a $170 Peacekeeper skin, and players were pretty furious about the fact that a Battle Pass skin that was $10 was a collection event reward. Now, they eventually ended up making a statement about this. It got really, really bad. And Alpha Intel did an interview with the devs, and they said, we learned some lessons. You won't see that reward again. I can pretty much guarantee that. The intent is to always do something players can enjoy and see value in. Definitely not trying to upset anyone. And of course, we eventually got the exotic shop, where the recoloring system, which was fantastic. However, the next event coming in is going to be a milestone event. And what's really important about that is, as you can see from the UI, you are not able to buy anything directly. You cannot go ahead and craft any of the stuff in here. You're gonna have to go ahead and buy the Apex packs and gamble on what you hope to get. And one of the rewards is a Havoc recolor. It is this one right here that Yoro Tsuki showed us. It is blue. It is the first ever reactive skin brought into Apex Legends. And overall, ends up getting the reactive retheme Crestfallen Stars, meaning that it is probably the hardest item to get in this entire thing. Legendaries have a 22.5%, epics have a 75%, and at 2 standard items, the rarity changes up, but the reactive is not included in that. And this brings us to our other big issue, because I don't understand why we're also getting these milestone events. Because way back when, right around the time of the Iron Crown Collection event, I think this was actually like the same season possibly that they introduced the reactive recolor. They did this gacha style thing where you couldn't buy the direct skins you want. And the response from one of the devs, Drew McCoy, said, we heard you and have spent a lot of time this week discussing the feedback and how to structure events in the future, as well as changes that we weigh operating a live service free-to-play game. And one of the takeaways from this week is that our message to expectations needs to be clear. And the fix for Iron Crown is simple. Respawn plans to begin selling the items in the direct purchase store soon. He went on to clarify the players on how they spent money and time. A core decision during development of Apex Legends was that we wanted to make a world-class battle royale game in quality, depth, progression, and important for today's conversation, how we sell stuff. With the Iron Crown event, we missed the mark when we broke our promise. That is correct, they broke their promise by making Apex packs the only way to get what many consider to be the coolest skins we've ever released. For many, many seasons, they never went back to this gacha style formula. However, Shadow Society reintroduced. That was a collection event, I think a season or 2 seasons ago. I think it was last season because it was when they introduced the artifact. Anyways, that whole line of thinking has gone completely out of the window. And it kind of makes sense because, well, Drew McCoy, the guy who went back and said, we're going to give players the choice to do and spend the money how they want in a more fair system, said, today marks the start of a new adventure for me. I will absolutely cherish the last 10 years I spent helping start Respawn and ship some awesome games alongside amazing people. And Drew McCoy is not the only one that left. The game directors have left. I believe it was Jason McCord and a whole host of other staff over at Respawn. And somewhere along the lines, when the new team has come in and eventually filled in, they must not know the history of Apex Legends nearly as well as the heirloom reward. And you can go ahead and say, well, technically it's not the final reward for unlocking everything. And well, that is technically true. By making it the hardest to get in a loot box based system where you can't directly buy what you want, it's the same exact. I do hope that before that does happen, that they are very clear to the player base that you don't need to buy all the Apex packs endlessly to try to get that 2.5% chance to get this Havoc recolor. I wish that Respawn look at the player count, and even with the new collection event, the player peak jumped for a little bit, but hasn't really stayed up and has still continued to decline quite a bit. Not to mention, I'm wondering when we're finally going to get original heirlooms back. Yoro Tsuki showed us what was supposed to be the Newcastle heirloom, or at least what it was theorized as it. It's right here, it's this sword, and it would have been really really cool. Unfortunately, it looks like for the time being, we are still going to get more of these artifact shards and artifact heirlooms. To get all 36 items, it's around $360. EA and recently, that according to Ritz King, it looks like Dummies Big Day LTM is coming back for this event around the time of July 22nd. There's also a hollow spray right here with the dummies on top of the death boxes, and the night event overall looks really cool. Respawn, in terms of gameplay, is adding a lot of really cool stuff, and we have a brand new map coming up and so much other awesome stuff. But it's really sad to see that the EA influence continues to take over more and more, and that Respawn, as the older developers are leaving, are forgetting the promises that they made to us as a community about how they wanted to do microtransactions in this game. I will always love playing Apex Legends, but it's kind of sad to see a little bit the direction that they are deciding to go in and how they're viewing their player base and the promises that they have made to us. Let me know down below, what are your guys' thoughts on collection events and Respawn going back on what they have promised us in prior events? Do you think it's okay? Channel right here by my editor Novell, who does amazing Apex Legends and other content. And until next time, everyone, keep slaying in the Outlands. I'll see you out there.